Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Razzles, and I'm back with another video. As you could probably see from the title of this video, it is a bike setup video, and I know a lot of people are looking for these. It's tough to get a setup for every bike, but I think that I found something that you guys will all like, especially you Honda boys. Anybody who rides Hondas, you're going to love this. Now, every setup is different. Some people don't like it. Like dudes on my team, like Hatter, for example, who shreds on Supercross, and then he can definitely keep up on outdoors. He tries my setup, and sometimes it doesn't work for him. Now, I did hear him saying that he's been using it certain tracks, so that shows that overall most riders can hit this setup or can hit a lap with this setup pretty good. I find this setup really good for when the track's really rough and you are trying to stay consistent. Like if you're out front and people are making mistakes and you just want to, take it home to the checkered, use this setup. So I'm just going to stop talking and I'm going to get into the gameplay and show you my setup. Let's get it. Yo, boys, first of all, before we even get started with this setup, are we going to talk about Farm 14 and how sick it is? Pretty sure it was made by the same dude who made Walnut, and we also saw some videos like Start Your Systems and those guys making videos of this track, and it's rad. In today's video, I'm going to be kind of showcasing a little bit of pre-recorded footage of me riding on this track, throwing down some heaters. I think I throw a 126.5. Don't quote me on that one though, but we'll see. Using this setup that I'm about to explain to you guys though. But if you haven't checked this track out, please do, because your experience on MX bikes will be 10 times better. It's called Farm 14 after the legendary Kevin Windham. So let's get into that setup now. All right, dudes. So the reason why you clicked on this video is so that way you get a setup. Well, I got one for you. I worked on this one a little bit, and it's not too drastic. It's not too crazy. Like when you look at it, you're like, well, hey, Razzles, that's not too different from like stock on the Honda, let's say. Trust me, if you know how suspension works in real life, you know that it does not take much. So let's talk through what I did here. So on the front suspension, the spring is at 28 foot-pounds per inch, pounds per inch, I guess. Bump is 11 clicks, rebound 7 clicks, preload 3 millimeters, and oil is 100. Now, before we go to the rear, I want to talk about oil and the front spring, I guess you want to say. This you can move up one if you want, or keep it the same either way. And then this you could move up to 105, or you can go down to 95, give or take. It's up to you, and as you play around with this whole setup, you'll kind of feel the difference, and you'll notice. Go up with this one if your front end is not really like, if it feels like it's sucking up too much and like you're diving into the corners with your front end, stiffen it up just a little bit. It'll kind of put more pressure on the rear end. So and then loosen them for the opposite effect is obviously. Moving into the rear suspension, I guess you want to say the rear spring, we have it at 296. Not too crazy of a dramatic change, if at all, but slow bump is at 7 clicks, fast bump 1 turn, rebound 3 clicks, and then the money maker preload 16. This one, that is what you change right there, depending on how rough the track gets. Go down if it's one of those tracks where it's rough, but the roughness is spread apart. Go up if it's real close to each other. Back it off a little bit if there's like a medium way, like, medium roughness to where like there's big gaps between the rough, but it's not too crazy. 16, I found out it's pretty dang good. So roll with that, boys. Take a screenshot of this, pause this video, put it on your other screen, or pause it on your phone. Put this on your bike right now, especially if you're riding a Honda, and you will notice a difference. If not, then completely scream at me in the comment section, because there's nothing I can do about that. All right, moving into the drivetrain, 1348. I usually don't mess with this too much. I usually kind of just find different spots to shift. If I do mess with this, it's because I go to Supercross. Tracks like Daytona, I actually run this setup on Daytona, so I would change the gearing a little bit for that. Other than that, leave it the same. Others, fork offset's 21. Fork height is 5 millimeters. Swing arm length 1. Never go to 2. Screws with my turning and whipping. Don't like it. And 143 rod length with a standard mapping. You can Can go aggressive. Just found that standard just works for me. So try that out, screenshot this, and make it happen. One quick note though, trying to run a fast lap, drop your fuel way down. That's even a little high for me. If you're in just practice, you can drop it down. Your bike will be lighter, be able to go faster, make it happen. And then I run 10.9 psi front and rear. I kind of think that it's like unrealistic to have 10.9 because you're probably gonna get some flat tires if that's the case, or at least bend some rims a little bit. But 10.9 works really good for me. You can maybe move the front up a little bit. Or not, just leave it like that. Or I think, what is it? Yeah, 11.6 is normal, and then drop to 10.9. So try that. And then I don't mess with these. I keep these the same. I never really found those to make too much of a difference for me, considering I use a lot of engine braking. So that's the setup right now. I can show you what it looks like in game for a little bit, but I know that you guys just came for this and you probably don't care to even see me ride. So go ahead and give that a try. And if it does work for you, drop it in the comments and let me know. And if you think there's something that I can do to change it that makes it better, please hit me up in the comments and let me know. Also, if this setup works for you, dude, don't be afraid to hit that like button. So let's get into a little bit of gameplay so we can see how this thing works. All right, guys, so we rolled into a little bit of gameplay, and I just wanted to kind of showcase this lap. I think it was the one, I ended up running a 126.7, so 0.2 slower than what I thought, but this lap really shows the potential of this setup. So coming into this turn right here, actually, like sweeping that corner on the gas and being able to scrub really showcases how well that this bike sits in corners whenever you're going pretty fast. Scrubbing obviously is pretty well. And then the overall kind of just feel of the bike over bumps, especially going down this hill right here, which can sometimes get pretty gnarly whenever you're going real fast. It just kind of sits into that corner, and I was able to roll on really good. Now I know I have the sound in the background kind of, compressed a little bit because this is actually a recording from whenever a few teammates and I were just running some laps, and we're kind of talking in the background. So you might be able to hear it a little bit, but I figured so. One thing I want to highlight about this setup is that corners like this one right here that get kind of rough, watch it track. There was so much chatter in there, but I had nothing but traction and was able to just get around that corner like a boss. And then rolling into these, I hit these kind of wonky, and it just really didn't kick me like crazy. I think that had to do something with my standing and sitting at the right time, but all in all, this setup works really well. So just to give you guys a visual of this, this setup, a little bit of kick right there, but I think that jump just does that. You guys will really enjoy this setup. Please give it a try because it works really well. And as you see right here, I get kind of stoked because I run the 126. The setup just works really well. Tracks really well in corners like this one. The bumpy tight one that you're about to see, it works real well. Yeah, so really stoked on this one. So anyways, guys, that is my setup. It's called middle ground because it literally works for every track for me, and you just go up and down on the millimeters and maybe a little bit on the spring rate a little bit. Give it a try and let me know if it works for you. And if it does, dude, hit it. Hit the button down below me. Do it. Do it for you. Do it for me. Do it for the entire community of MX Bikes, because not only that, though, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, whenever I get to 1,000 subscribers, I am going to be doing a goggle giveaway. I am going to go out with my own money, and I'm going to buy a pair of 100% goggles, and I'm going to give it away to one of my subscribers. So with that being said, if you guys like this video and subscribe and get me to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I will be giving away a pair of 100% goggles to one of you guys who are looking at this setup video. Now, hopefully you made it this far so that way you could hear that, spread the word to your buddies, and also go out there and shred some laps on the middle ground setup. Appreciate you guys sticking through it, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.